Welcome back to the Ultimate Wolf Reviews and Gaming. So today I did, yesterday, the Transformers Titan class Siege Omega Supreme did arrive. And boy, do I have a little story. Maybe a little rant about Entertainment Earth. So if you like shopping there, you might want to just skip the video. Just skip this part if you like shopping at Entertainment Earth. So on Patriot Prime's channel, he posted a link that Siege Omega Supreme got reinstocked at Entertainment Earth with free shipping. If you use his link, I clicked his link, and then also on Entertainment Earth's site it does say free shipping. The figure when you go check out, it was not free shipping for the Siege Omega Supreme. So there's that, and then I eventually ordered the figure from Hasbro Pulse, which was actually free shipping, which the Entertainment Earth one should have been. So yeah, so you would have to pay a full price plus shipping for Entertainment Earth. But Hasbro Pulse did have the free shipping. Like I ordered it the other day and it arrived yesterday, and they didn't even get comfort. I got the tracking number that was shipped, but I couldn't see any updates on it, so I didn't know when this Titan would arrive. And it is big, so it's gonna be hard film, but I adjusted the camera so you will be able to see everything. And the mic will even be able to pick up the ratchet joints. So, but yeah, it's a big figure, so stuff might be off camera, but it shouldn't be out of camera. Yeah, I'll show you the box and then the accessories that this Titan class Omega Supreme comes with. Let's turn on the camera. But yeah, I'll show you everything in the review. And even the features of this figure, too. And this is also my first Titan out of the Hasbro Titans, at least. But yeah, this is my first Titan out of the Hasbro Titans. It is a big and heavy figure too, so I wouldn't recommend it to little kids, especially with the strong joints. Yeah, they'll need adult supervision if you're getting this figure to a little kid. But let's turn on the camera. So you can see that's just the box right there. So with the glare from the light. But yeah, so you can see it is a big box. Right there. So you can see on the front of the box, you can see the Titan Omega Supreme fighting a few Decepticons back on Cybertron. The Transformers Siege War for Cybertron trilogy, ages 8 and up. Right here at the bottom, Hasbro Transformers, the Autobot symbol. With generations, Star Tommy, you can see the Omega Supreme fighting a few Decepticons. All by himself, I can see a few down here shooting him. You can see his claw, and then again, see a few Tetrajets, and then you can also see Commander class Jetfire or Skyfire right behind him. Over here, you can see the Omega Supreme with the Autobot symbol down at the bottom, and then you use War for Cybertron 28-9 in this release. Top of the box, you see the Autobot symbol right here. On this side, you can see the Autobots right there. Well, some of them, not all of them. Like you can see Ironhide, Prowl, Chromia. And then you can Optimus Prime, Red Alert, Hound, Sideswipe. See battle damage. Transformers for Cybertron trilogy right there. Now, this side of the box, you can see the stage artwork right there. So you just have to see the stage artwork, but bigger, with all the figures from the stage artwork. Other side, it just continues this picture on the front, but you see the arc right there, which is going to be the Kingdom Titan class figure. And then you can see the different languages, so Titan class right there at the bottom with the glare, but it says Titan class. Bottom of the box. You just see the rest of it, and then just the warning and stuff right there. Now, but when you flip the box, turn the box 180, so you can now see the back of the box. You see the Magnus Supreme right there. You see him in his robot mode with Blastbacks included. New ones too. And then you can see Autobot Countdown. He's only at 3 steps to transform into his alt mode. You can see the base mode. You can see a little opening hatch right there. You can see the base mode right there. See all that detail, which you do see on the figure. And also up here, right here next to it, it's going to be hard to see on camera, but it does say Autobot Command Center mode. And then at the top, Trent War for Cybertron. WFC-S29. War for Cybertron Stage 29, then the Autobot symbol, all that stuff. That's it all just for this box, for the figure. Yeah, so you can see the box is big. I think the box is big. The figure is bigger than the box. Well, sideways at least. Now I can finally set that box over. To see the size of the figure, I had to put him off to the side while I was showing the box. Yeah, the box is big. And once you take it out of the box, you have this bad boy right here. Sage Omega Supreme. And it's off camera. Look here, I can slightly raise it up, and you can see the light right there. But yeah, so you can see here's Omega Supreme. But I'm going to set him off to the side and back. So you get him in his robot mode. You know, get his wings attached. Yeah, so you put that, I'll show everything. You do, at the top of the box, you'll find the wings right here. Show off when we talk about the wings. So you have his wings, which are more for base mode, but at least he has his iconic wings. Put those off to the side. He does come with an instruction sheet, a big one, at the bottom right here. Show it in camera. See the HM laser cannon. Yeah. 300 TT Claw Crusher. And the RT-50 M2 Plasma Blaster. And it's the Titan class, so here's all of that. You open it, and the figure transforms in multiple steps. Not like the G1, so the regular figure transforms in 18 steps. Well, just the base. The tank transforms in 29 steps. And the missile transforms into 37 steps. Which is not actually that much, it just continues on. So the tank only transforms in 11, and the rocket transforms only in 7 steps. Back of the box, you can see your features, what you do with countdown, all that's back of the instructions. See, you can see what to do with the figure, which I'll show every little detail, what to do. And Blastbacks says all that stuff. And then it even shows you right here on the front, it shows you what to do, well, when you're taking the figure out of the box. Yeah. It is a big instruction sheet, too. But you also do get this little countdown within the box. Which you, obviously the Micromasters and Battlebusters didn't make an appearance in the Siege show. Well, if you've seen it. So here he is in all mode. I'll take a closer look at him when I take a closer look at him. So you can see you do get a new Micromaster with the figure. There's one of them, and now you also do get Blastbacks, which they're different sizes too, and they're actually near the base. They're black, so you give it like he's either getting shot at or he's shooting something. So you have different Blastbacks. They all do combine to form a giant blast effect too. So here's all the blast effects, so you can see right there. They do combine to form the giant one. Yeah, see, there's all the blast effects you get with the figure. Put these off to the side. I'll move Countdown off to the side. So to get him into his robot mode, because after you take him out of the box, you have to rearrange. Number 2. So we're gonna attach the wing source to get the complete Omega look. So we want to pull figure. We want to turn the figure 180, so you can see his back. Like so. You want to lift this piece up. It's on a double hinge. You want to make sure it's hinged up, and then this will sit right there. But you want to just bring these up so you can see some of the nice detail. And these are also unhinged, but that's more due to translation. So if you look, there's right here where my finger is, there's a slot right there, so where you can slide the wings on. So you want to make sure you get the right side. Make sure you got it right. You just want to slide that in. There. So you can see that's, well, now in its right place. Make sure this double hinge stays up. Make sure that's on the right place. And now do the same thing with the other end. Slide that in place. Like so. So there's that. In this piece, you want to hinge up. If you look right under, there's 2 slots right here. Tab right there at the bottom that these pieces will peg into to secure the backpack. There's a tab at the very bottom of these gray pieces that will peg in. Just want to make sure everything's lined up. Snap it in place. That's the back of the Megadon. So you can see he has his now wings. Also come up to the top of the head and back of the head and flip up the little cannon at the back. You can turn around. There you have your Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Titan class. Omega Supreme in his robot mode. So you can see he is very, very big. Show off the details, because this figure does have a lot of details. And, well, in his modes. And then I'll also talk about the articulation comparisons to figure. So you can see the wings right there. You can see the head right there with the little cannon, the red right there on the head. Scuba mask right there. You can see the arms too, the giant claw and the giant cannon. You can see the eyes, chest, everything. So you can see all the little details like the silver right there on the side. The yellow with the feet even have molded details too. Side of it, but that's more for base mode. The back of it, which it does get hindered. Cleaned up behind the legs. So there's the legs, then use everything from the back. And there it is. So if you open up these panels, I'll show this little detail. So So you can see that little silver bit right there at the back. But you'll see that more in base mode. 2. And then Stella has to make her cameo in every video. Move these pieces in. That one just pegged into the wrong side. You just gotta get these two powers lined up properly. There. Clip in. Clipped in. There. That's just so you can see how tight the joints are. Then you can see the little detail right there on the shoulders too. So you can see it is big. You gotta let that furry thing in. Is she not? Get in here. I said get in here. Move the chair out of the way. Stop, come on. Come check this room over here. Just lay down. Lay down. It's okay, baby. Lay down. It's okay. Good girl. Okay. Just put that over. There, now she'll be quiet, hopefully not running in and out of the room like she did multiple times in the review for the Ultimate Expanse figure. But she'll be quiet, hopefully. I will be. That's not quiet. Here, I'll show you the little countdown figure. So, I'll have to move Omega back. So here's the little countdown figure, so you can see its little car with the black wheels. The first ones are clipped on, and then the second ones are pinned. So you can see it's only 3 steps. It's not rocket science to transform the figure. It's a Micromaster size, so you don't need a lot of help while transforming this figure. So to transform Countdown in his robot mode, flip around the leg, like so you can see that's one leg done. Flip around the leg, that's another leg done. So you just want to flip one of these, well, flip. It's 3 steps to transform it, it's super easy. So here, I'll bring it in on the camera. So you're going to flip one around, flip the other around. So that way you could see, well, that forms his legs. Bring the arms down. Bring the arms down. And now we're almost done. This is the hardest part of the figure. It's going to take a lot of pressure to move it. Just move this satellite down. That's all you have to do. For the Countdown robot mode. So you can see that's Countdown, so he's a little Micromaster. Or a Battlemaster. There he is with the Siege Omega, so you can see how big he is. And then here I'll bring out a few of the other Battlemasters / Micromasters. Here he is with the Earthrise Smashdown. And here he is with the one of the Siege Fire Drive. So you can see for, well, scale. wise. Obviously, it depends where you have a Smashdown's head in. But so you can see that's how big he is compared to the other Micromasters. Which I could actually bring these a little bit more forward because they are smaller. There's that. Show off in alt mode with a few others really quickly. Well, a few other Micromasters / Battlemasters, so you guys can at least get some sense of scale with this figure compared to the Titan Omega. Then I'll talk about the Blastbacks, and there's a bunch of this figure. And I'll talk about his Countdown's little alt mode configuration. Here it is with the cars form that one bad weapon alt mode. And then here it is with Top Shot. So you can just get like a sense of scale. Micromaster scale with him. He does have a third mode, and out of the robot and his alt mode, the third mode is the worst on this figure. So you want to unpeg the legs slightly, just lift them up slightly, bring the satellite up slightly, and bring forward the arms. And just go into the bottom and flip out the port. And just bring the satellite back. There you have his robot mode. His third mode. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that's his little third mode. So if you want, you could put it up on Omega's shoulder. Which you would have solved for the thumbnail. So that's a little like communication array for Omega. The instructions do tell you to bring the satellite a little bit forward, which you can do. But yeah, so you can see there he is on the shoulder for alt mode. And for seriously, dog. And yes, if you're wondering, it does roll in alt mode. Let me go put the dog out. Wait, I want to go back outside. Let's down this room. Get. Might be back. Yes, it does roll for being a Micromaster. And he's turning out all by itself. It could be I just don't have one of these wheels or aligned properly. Or it's just my surface. So you can see he does roll. No. Rolls really good. Yeah, I'll put it back in robot mode so you can talk about articulation in a little detail. There. So for his robot mode, the arms can do a full 360 degrees. No issues there. A little bit out. It's slight because there's the regular. That's the low. So you have a little articulation. Legs can go forward that far. Back that far. No issues there. So you can, if you want, you can have them doing the splits. Legs can go out that much with the arms there, unless you, bring them out. Raise the arms up. So you can't do the full splits. Sideways, there's that. And then the little detail on his legs and his head is good. There's no issues with the figure. So you can see like that blue eyes right there for the head, and then chest, arms are different, and then you can see that leg detail, which the left leg does kind of remind me of a Mixmaster for when using combined mode of the Constructicons, and just the backpack is just a satellite right there. So not a big of a backpack for Micromaster. I'll put Countdown off to the side so we can talk about the Blastbacks, and I'll talk about comparisons and articulation for this Titan Omega. But yeah, like I said, these Blastbacks can combine, but I'll show you every little port or where these Blastbacks can go. So you can have one on the leg, But there's another one on the leg down here, but I'm just so that way you can at least get a sense of scale where they are. Two, there's one up on the hip. So you have one on the hips right there. But so you accept one on the hip. You have one up on his chest. Well, his lower torso now. You have one up here on this edge of the gray piece. So if you want, you can have this Titan getting shot at a bunch of times by the Decepticons. You have two ports up here on the shoulder, up on his chest. You can also put one up here if you want. And then these little cannons up here can have Blastbacks. I think that's all done for Blastbacks? You're wrong. But yeah, so that's where all these Blastbacks go, but well, if you want to display it with Blastbacks. Or if you have more, you can just armor this Titan up. Here's the one that came with Smashdown. Blast effect. Just making sure I get all these aligned. So that way you can have him getting shot at. Because he is a Titan, he'll take a lot more damage. Two, he has two on the shoulders on the same spot. And then you can hear a barking dog. That's new, right? There's that. Yeah, you can see you can armor up your Titan Omega. Super with them. And then I knock one over. Come on. Wait, so you can at least get a sense of how big he is with all the blast effects. So if you want, you can have Omega getting shot at. If you want, for a display ability or possibility. So that way you can see he will be able to take a lot of damage from these Decepticons. And I'll bring him in so you can at least see how better it is without the glare. So you can see all of the blast effects right there. So you can see you can hold a lot of blast effects in his robot mode. So I'm going to take all of these back off. Just off to the side. This one here. So you can see that's a lot of blast effects just for one figure. Just taking off the ones that aren't his for a second. Because his blast effects can do something with all of them. But yeah, so all these blast effects that you see right here that Omega did come with can actually merge into a giant one. So it tells you how to do instructions, so you can just merge all of these right here. So you can see it's starting to look like a massive blast effect. Put this one on top. And then just put another one on top. So you can see that's his massive blast effect and what these merge into. And obviously you can peg it on the cannon too. To give it like the cannon, it's going to be like he's shooting out of the cannon. For alt mode, this would look better in alt mode. Mode 2, you could put the big one at the base to go like he's taking off. Or for an alt mode 2, there's ports up here. So if you want to all 3 of these ones and put it on the port and just align it so that way it looks like he's taking off. So you can use all those Blastbacks right there. I'll do some quick comparisons and then I'll talk about articulation and posability. Or at least I'll pose him. So those off to the side, I'll just extend him. Straighten back out a little bit. So for comparison, here he is with the Earthrise Leader Class Double Dealer. Which double dealer goes right up to his knee pads. So you can get a sense of how big he is. Here he is with the Voyager Autobot class Impactor. The Siege one. And here he is with the Siege Hound. Siege regular Hound. So you can just get like a sense of how big Omega is compared to a leader class, a Voyager, and then another deluxe class. Well, the shorter deluxes. So you can see how big of a scale he is compared to all of them. Put all these off to the side because I don't need them again. But why don't we talk about articulation? Hey Roxanne, how are you doing? Yeah, so for the head articulation, which I'll probably have to raise the camera slightly. Yeah. So here's the head. That can rotate a full 360. I'll bring it lower. I can rotate a full 360. I'm trying to also make sure this is all in camera. That can rotate a full 360. It can, if you hinge it up, you can get it to hinge up so we can look up and down on that joint. And yes, this is a heavy figure too. But yeah, so if you lift the head up, you can see there's that joint, so you can at least give him the effect to look down for a pose if you want. But there's that for the head. And the arms, they have 2 different joints. I'll bring them down. Strong ratchet joints. They can go all the way up, all the way down. Out to the side that far. And then, so you can see some joints are strong ratchet joints. Elbow bend. So you can have him in it using an elbow bend. And a swivel too for this hand. So you can see that's all that side articulation. The other side is a little bit the same, but different, too. It can go up all the way, like so, up to there, back down. But yeah, so you can see all that range there. Hey, John Joker. Yeah, it's a great Omega Supreme. As you can tell, tight joints too. Arms can go out to the side. So, but yeah, the Siege Titans Omega is really good too. So you can see the articulation right there, elbow bend, and now here's where it gets different from the other side. The claw, and can go down that far, so if you want, you can have it like he's about to smash something. If you want, or go back to full. Or you can also bend at the hinge right there to give him that effect if you want. But yeah, as you can see, it is heavy too. But yeah, how are you doing, John Joker? Hey, Delicious Run. Yeah, he is a huge figure, like 24 inches. He's the rocket just itself is about 2 feet. 2 feet tall, just about. And I'll even bring the Titan class Predaking out from the KO. But even for the articulation, this can rotate a full 360 degrees too. So if you have all that for articulation, and that's all. I'll do one leg because they're the same. As you can tell, heavy ratchets too for the leg. So you can tell how good the ratchets are. And then the leg's also picking that up. So yeah, strong ratchets for the figure. Good, Ultimate Wolf. Just enjoying your live. Yeah, on the wonderful figure. Yes, wonderful figure, John Joker. Legs can go back, well, to the side, so you can see how tight the joints are too. All the way forward. No issues there. Standing back up. Yeah, as you can tell, tight joints, and he even has a ratcheted waist swivel, so you can get a full 360, but it is tight with the ratchets. He does have a knee bend. Ratchets again. And you can see all that little detail when you bend the leg too. And he even has ankle tiltage too, so for much posability for this Titan class figure. And then here, I'll bring out the Predaking off to the side for another quick comparison. There he is with the KO, the Wei Zhang, it's just KO of the power of the primes Predaking. So that's how Devastator would be scaling with the Titan Omega. So you can see how big Omega is compared to the Predaking figure. This is the KO Predaking, the Wei Zhang one, but so you can see how big Predaking is compared to Devastator. Wow. What is that figure, brother? Yes, this is a Hasbro. This is the Hasbro Siege Titan class Omega Supreme. And this one right next to him is it's the Wei Zhang KO of the Power of the Primes Predaking. Just has more articulation, a little bit better features than the Hasbro one. But so you can see how big it is. I'll set Predaking off to the side. Yeah, it's the Hasbro Predaking. Just the KO of the Hasbro Predaking. And then I'll show you how I'll pose this Titan class figure, and then I'll talk about transformation. And you will be impressed about what this rocket can do. Yeah, I'll quickly pose up Omega Supreme to hear how tight those ratchets are too. And I just put one of these Blastbacks on the cannon to give it like he's about to fire at some Decepticons too. So that way you can see him like using the beam. Like he's about to blast Decepticons away. I do bring out the legs, not that much too. But yeah, I do give it some of the ankle tiltage too. But yeah, so just I'll let you know when I can play Predator Hunting Grounds. Maybe tomorrow. Bring the legs forward and back out, so you could see how powerful this figure is. Even the ratcheted thigh. And then, if you want, you could even pose the claw. So you can see all this joints were about $150 worth of a figure, of a Hasbro figure. There we go. So that way you can at least get him in a balance pose too. So you can just see how big he is, and then put countdown in his alt mode. Well, in his little Micromaster mode. See, but you should see how the rocket transforms. That's what really impressed a lot of people, what they did with this engineering of the figure. And there's still the port up on top, so you can at least put a Micromaster or Moundmaster up on the port. This countdown didn't give me issues while I was putting him back up. And obviously the Blastbacks to give it, like he's about to use his beam on the Decepticons. So you can see a really big figure for $150. But there's also the transformation process, which is different from the others Omega Supremes, especially from the G1 Omega Supreme. But let's talk about this transformation. Try to remove these Blastbacks and countdown. So you can see how tight these joints are. And one of the arms almost came undone due to transformation. But yeah, this figure, if you know how like the G1 Omega transforms, how it was all the parts forming and then just up to the arms would come off, up to the elbow would just come off, and then they would reattach to form a small rocket. And then everything else was just parts forming. But it did have electronics, like it could walk in robot mode, that could rotate for tank mode. But it's better for all mode. Just found the time he was worth $200 reduced to $130. What would you say he's worth? He is huge. He's like 24 inches. But you should see what they did to the transformation for this Titan class figure. Because the Titan has a lot of different engineering just for this transformation. Come to the back. Remove. Unclip the back. Unclip the wings. So we can set the wings off to the side. But yeah, it's a big figure. Is that bigger than Triptychon from 2 to 3? No, I think they're actually bigger than, I think he's actually bigger than they're around the same size as Triptychon. Like, he's around the same size, he's a little bit shorter. I'll show some pictures with, like, Triptychon, so you can at least get, like, a sense of scale with this Titan. But I know Scorponok is a little bit shorter, which that came out for Earthrise. So, the arm assembly, you just want to pull back, and that's the whole arm assembly. Which we can also set this off to the side for now, which I'll have to put over here, which you won't be able to see. So you can see that that was just the whole arm assembly and the wings right now. You're gonna rotate this figure back to the front. Move that down so you can reveal detail. Lift these up to reveal missile pods, but that's more for all mode transformation. Remove that whole middle section. So you could just see like, well, how it's starting to look like. I'll set the torso back off to the side. But yeah, as you can see, it is a big transformation. Let's bring these down. Well, thank you. Yeah, it should be around the same size as that Triptychon, but it's a little bit bigger than the Titan class Devastator or Protoking. Rotate the waist 180, and you can tell strong joints on this figure. 2. Rotate the waist 180. Bring the legs out on this ratchet joint, on this strong ratchet joint. 2. Do this out. So you can see you can't do splits. You're gonna flip this. There's a little black piece at the bottom. You just want to flip that out, so you can. This will give it more support. Rotate back to the front. So if you come to the bottom of it, you can see there's these 2 panels. You want to unclip, flip out, so that he has little ramps. And you can see it was hiding a little detail right there too. I'm very tempted. He would look amazing with my G1. Yeah, he would look amazing with the G1 collection. But Salacious, if you remember how the G1 Omega Supreme transformed, then you should see how the Rocket transforms. It's for all mode. So flip the ramps down, so he at least has ramps. Flip this back down, move those missile pods up. Tight joint again. So you just want to bend the legs so that way it's bent, so you can at least see with it. So you can see that's just mostly the bit, and then due to the front angle, I'll probably have to rotate the base, the figure off to the side. But so that's basically the whole torso. So you can at least see it did shrink a little bit more in size. But now there's the ramps pieces. Since it's obviously a different height from the G1 Omega, you can open up the ramp, and you'll see there's the supports hidden inside. So you just gotta unfold. Fold all 3 supports and clip it in to place. Place on the clip points. Right there. Secure. So you can see that's just the front of the ramp. So you can see it does have a giant ramp. Yeah, I'm tempted too. Now, yeah, it's a good figure. As you can hear, the tight joints, but we're not done, because we still have to transform the tank half and the rocket, which the rocket is really good. It impressed a lot of people with it when they showed this off. Put the ramps in the back, so that way he has more support. There, clip that in, and clip that in. So you can see that's almost the full base, which I can actually set it right at the back. Make sure all the supports are down and the ramps are down. So you can see that's mostly the base mode. So obviously, if you had the G1 Omega screen, it would transform. Parts would transform into the tank, and parts would form the rocket assembly. So now the whole upper torso, what we removed from Omega, like with the whole chest assembly and the head, this actually transforms into the tank. So you want to flip it to the back. You're going to flip this little cannon away for transformation. You're going to come to the front. You're going to pull open that piece to reveal the chest. Bring out these two cannons. You're going to clip them in. So you can see we're getting into the main figure itself. You're going to flip this whole piece 180. Flip this around so that way the cannon will now get revealed and then the chest hides away. Well, the chest. So just flip that out. You can close this piece back up. We don't need that open. Rotate the cannon around. Yeah, so it's big. Ironhide, you're good. It's fine. I totally understand. But how are you doing, Ironhide? Flip that in. But yes, I see some of it might be off camera. I'll bring these down. But yeah, how are you doing, Ironhide? So if you look on the side of the mask, there's two little clips right behind the head. Right here next to the mask, the hoses that the tank turret will clip in. You just want to make sure it's aligned up. And you also want to come to the bottom and untab this whole assembly from the bottom. Flip that up. Great. So far, how are you doing today? I'm good. Just transforming this behemoth, which I'm almost done with actually. And extend that out. So that way, that whole piece we flipped out will form the bottom of the tank. And you want to make sure the head is straight. Everything's collapsed. That'll make it easier because I can actually have it sit instead of holding it midair. And these cannons down at least. And this piece needs to hinge forward. There, you can get the gist of it. So you can see that was the whole tank we just made. If it all clips in. But so you can see that was the whole tank right there. And there's one issue that the tank does have. I can talk about that now. So if you see how big the tank is, it doesn't even sit all the way on the tracks. But the tank does have two rolling wheels at the bottom. The tracks don't actually move, so if you want, you can roll it around. The only thing is the tank barrel it can't rotate. So if someone attacks from the side, you can't attack from the side. So there's that. Well, due to the way how they engineered it. So you can see there's the head. You can see the cannons right there. 3 cannons. I'll set the tank portion off to the side for now, because we're not done. Because what about the arms assembly? The arms is one thing that really impressed a lot of people, the way it transformed. Because he still needs the rocket. So let's see how that makes. Want to collapse in the arms, like so. Collapse them in, straighten them out. You can at least just straighten out the claw, which is translucent plastic. You want to straighten out the arm, like so. And collapse that in. Extend that so it at least forms more. Our rocket, and you want to collapse the barrel in so it's at least a little bit more compact. And if you look on the inside, you can see there's panels right there. So open up and just unfold. And you'll see how big this rocket is once I'm done with everything. Now this is on the double hinge. You just want to collapse that hinge in on itself. there. So you can see that whole piece will just collapse on the front of it. Right there. So you can see how well tight it is. And now you want to align the arms up. Flip in one of the bottom tabs and then secure that. And now, so you can see if you look, there's the little corner tabs that will peg into that upper slot. So just rotate and peg in and close this panel up. It's secure. That will fold in, collapse in on itself, collapse in. And there you have the Omega rocket. As you can see just by itself, how big it is. So you can see it is bigger than the base itself. And if you want, if you can, you could adjust the hands, the claws, so at least it's more stable in this mode. Well, if you get it balanced right. But there's the Omega rocket. So you can see how big it is. And if I put it, actually bring the set back in, the whole figure back in, bring it back because I'll need room. Put that right in the middle. That's how big the rocket is. So if you display in alt mode, you'll need a lot of room. But that's what I'll probably display in robot mode. But so you can see you have a little bit more detail revealed in alt mode. I'm not going to pick this up, but I can actually go handheld. So that way you can at least see all this fantastic detail on this figure. So, instead of me actually moving around. Actually, yeah, it's a big figure, as you can tell. The rocket's almost 2 feet tall. Orange is about 2 feet tall, and then Ironhide Scorponok is from the Earthrise, not Siege. Wow, how do you display robot or base? I'll probably display it in robot mode, to be honest, but here, I'll go handheld so you can at least see all this fantastic detail in the figure. But yeah, I can go handheld. So that way I can at least show you this fantastic detail in the figure. Which I'll at least turn off this. But yeah, I'll go handheld so you guys can actually see all this detail. There, and then I can actually adjust it. There, but so I actually did go handheld. So you can just see this fantastic detail. Yeah, great transformation. But yeah, you can see the ramps now fully exposed. And then the tank right there. So you can see the Omega tank with all of the detail. Even can roll slightly, but even though it's too big for the tracks. So you can see there's that back of it too. You can just see the panels right there and in the back. And the missiles right there on the side. So if you flip those up, you get missiles. Or you can flip the other, and so you get more missiles for alt mode, so he can at least defend himself. And then the base of the rocket. How big it is, too. And the very tip of it. But this still has a few more features for alt mode. I'll at least turn it back off so you can at least see the regular. Turn the cam back on, so because there's still a few more features that I never showed off. But that's more for alt mode, which we're here now. But yeah, so you can see how big it is itself. At least move the rocket out of the way for a second. Because obviously with the Siege / Earthrise figures, with the Siege and Earthrise came down, the bases can actually connect. So like as you saw during the transformation, I flipped out these two ones, but those two won't be able to connect. If you look on the side or some of the front of the bases, there's little clips, but if you come to the side right here, there's a little black one right there. So if you want, you could take any of your Earth bases and just flip out this little black clip. So that way you can actually connect it to one of your bases. Like here is the Earthrise Ironworks in his base mode. So if you have bases, the bridge bots from Earthrise, you can connect it to these clamps and make a bigger city too if it will work. Come on. You have to line this up right. But so you can see, you can merge these bases and make a giant ramp. Two for $150. Okay, can you just... Obviously when the camera's on, it doesn't want to work. When the camera's off, I don't have issues with it. So, or sometimes when the camera's on, I definitely have issues with it. When the camera's off, I do. The issues. There. So you can at least, so if you want, you can connect your bridge bots from Earthrise and, well, your bases to form a bigger base, if you want. Two. I'll remove Ironworks so I can least. But yeah, so if you want, you can have a bigger base. Extend the bases if you want. I'll put Ironworks back off to the side. Yeah, there is a few features what Countdown can do, and then I'll show off the Blastbacks parts because there's more in all mode too. That did get revealed for the all mode. But yeah, for the tank, it can obviously roll on its wheels. But yeah, so here, I'll show you a few comparisons. Here it is with the Siege Crosshairs, which is just a repaint of the Ironhide mold. So you can see how big he is in the tank mode. But yeah, so you can see how big he is compared to the Deluxe, which is almost a Voyager-ish. So you can at least get a sense of how big he is. Here he is with the Deluxe Silver Streak. So you can see a car to a tank. And then there's those two for comparisons. Here he is with the Netflix spoiler pack Siege Ultra Magnus, which is just a repaint of the Siege Magnus. So you can see Magnus is bigger than Omega's tank portion itself, compared to a tank versus a trailer. But obviously the width is bigger on the Netflix, on Omega. But so you can see how big this figure is. And obviously if you have the Blastbacks, you can put these Blastbacks anywhere you want on the figure. And if you want, well, here I'll even put Countdown in his base, in his alt mode, with a few other Micromasters. And so you can at least like get a sense of how big he is. Like a car to the ramp. Remove the rocket because I won't need that for a second. But yeah, you can, if you want, you can put your, so you can see if you want, you could put your Siege Micromasters, Battlemasters up on the base itself. So that way you could have a little race going on if you want. So you can see how big they are compared to it. Or if you want, you can put a few up here too, like for the command center of the base. So you can just get another sense of scale with it. Or if you have legends or the G1s, they should fit really well with it. So you can at least get a sense of scale with this Titan Omega. Supreme. But even if you have like the Fires ones, if you flip this down flat, you can at least have it like little landing gear for the planes. But so you can see there's all that and many more you can put on this Titan, on this figure. Yeah, I'll remove these off to the side because Countdown still has another feature you can do in the base mode, which will take the rocket, but he has one for the tank, which is one I can show on camera. So if you look at the tank, well, if you open that up like you're doing to translation, you could open this main portion up, and if you look, there's 4 little spots right there. So if you want, you could, if you're going to display him in tank mode, you could just set him Countdown right in the middle. So that way, it looks like, well, it's tank storage. So you can see his storage right there. Just ordered watching Ultimate. And just ordered watching Ultimate Wolf is expensive. Oh my god. Yeah, it's expensive, as you saw. But so if you want, you can have Countdown in there, but you have to remove him for transformation. So if you want, you can at least store Countdown in the tank mode. But that's not all he could do with this figure. But he does have another thing you can do with the rocket itself. Because if you look at the rocket, which I'll have to set Omega back off to the side, but yeah, the figure is expensive. So if you look at the rocket, there's like a little hatch right here. You open the bottom one first, and the top one, you can reveal like a little control panel, which I'll bring in close. Yeah, it is expensive, but so you can see like there's a little control panel and stuff inside of it. So if you want, you could take a Micromaster, Battlemaster, to give it the effect like he's actually going to be riding in the Omega rocket. But yeah, as you can see, it is a big figure too. But yeah, if you want, you could put any of the figures in the middle. Well, any of the Micromasters in the middle. So if you want, you could at least give it the effect. And just close up the top one and bottom one. So that you won't even notice he's in there until, you could leave him in there during transformation. You won't even notice, but if you open the bottom one and the top hatch, you can see him in there like he's getting in or out of the rocket. So you can see there's the countdown right there. But yeah, the figure does have, Omega does have Blastbacks all over, even for the robot mode too. So I'll bring the Blastbacks back out, but he does have a bunch of Blastbacks. Well, the ones he came with, and the others that I do have around. But yeah, he does have a bunch of the Blastbacks. Show off the rocket ones, the base ones first. So some of the spots were from robot mode for the blast effect. Like if you want, you can put a bunch of blast effects up on, so that way it looks like Omega is either getting shot at. So there's the blast effects right there. So you can at least get a sense of like he's actually getting shot at. Be down soon. But yeah, so if you want, you can put the blast effects on the ramps themselves. Or if you see there's like the ports around a little bit like burning, like they're overheated or something. So if you want, you can just put these blast effects on the ramps around the base. So you can see you can put them on the base. or put them up top to these panels, like I did for haste mode. So you can see you can armor up these figures too. Or the small one's called Battle Masters. Well, some of it will have. Yeah, well, some of them are called Battle Masters and some are called Micro Masters. But yeah, some are Battle Masters, some are the Micro Masters. Like the Battle Masters. Like, here's one of the Battle Masters. Because the Battle Masters, they'll usually transform into weapons so your other figures can hold. The Micro Masters, they transform into weapons. Which, their weapon modes aren't that good. And then you could still armor them up. But they would be smaller. But yeah, some of the weapon modes weren't good for these Battle Masters and Micro Masters. But they could transform into weapons. And just the Battle Masters, they would only have one alt mode, which would be their weapon mode. And then they can actually hold their weapon, but for the Micro Masters, they have an alt mode, and they can also have a combined mode. Combined weapon mode, which isn't good on some figures. Yeah, I've gone straight to G1, Siege, Omega, added, skipped 35 years. Yeah! I totally agree, because obviously with the space these figures take up. Yeah, especially with the Kingdom arc. But even the rocket and the tank, they still have massive exports. Obviously, like if you look around the rocket, you can put more Blastbacks on the base itself. Like, there's a bunch of Blastbacks, or you can put them in the ports to give it, like, he's either, well, getting shot up. But yeah, you have a bunch of Blastback spots. And then even the instructions, they even tell you where they are, too. But yeah, you do get a few of these Blastbacks with the figure, so. But yeah, you can find them easy or just look at the instructions. But it gives you the fact that Omega just got shot at, so you have a bunch of these Blastbacks. Or they'll just fall off. Too. So if you want, you can put the Blastbacks on your figure to give him like he's either getting shot up or taking massive damage. And if you want, you could put the three of the same down at the bottom of the claw, which was still able to rotate in all mode, but I wouldn't use it that much in all mode. If you bend them, you could give it the effect like he's flying through space, and these are thrusters. So if you want, you could use those as thrusters. Or you can make the giant Blastback and put that in the middle. And one of the panels came undone. But so if you want, you can obviously make the giant Blastback, but you do it with the figure. So that way you at least get like the effect that Omega is taking off. And one of the panels just came undone. But so if you want, you could give it the effect like he's flying through space with these Blastbacks right there. And the tank is even pollution compatible, or Blastbacks. So I'll at least put the rocket off to the side. But yeah, the tank is even Blastback compatible. And a few spots too, but there's still another feature with this figure too, but that's for base mode. So, or you can use it in robot mode. You can obviously put the Blastbacks up on the tank, like so, like on the Megas. So that way it gives it like the effect that he's gonna be shooting some cons with the Blastbacks. And since he has the other two cannons, you can use these other two spare Blastbacks that you could get. So that way to give it like he's gonna blast. Some cons when he's driving through Cybertron. So if you want, you could give it like the tank's about to shoot some cons. As a little play feature as well. But there's still one little feature. And this one I'll actually have to rotate the base sideways for a second. And I'll need a countdown. So in the instructions, and they even show this off too. So if you rotate the figure off all the way to the side, either side, you can open up these knees, the knee panels for a sec. So if you want, you could put the figure in there like it's a garage or something. So you could just store him in there and you wouldn't see him. So a little hidden area. Well done, Mr. Wolf. Great stream and review. My first time watching Mr. Wolf live, and I have spent 140. Can't wait to get it now. I will probably leave it in robot mode though. Yeah, I'll probably leave it in robot mode though, depending on the space. 2. My biggest G1 is Metroflex. This will look badass. Yeah, this is about 24 centimeters, 24 inches in robot mode. So, yeah, it's going to look badass in robot mode compared to a G1 collection. Or even the Legend scale collection. So there's those features. If you want, so you can see you can armor up Omega in many different ways. Obviously all that detail too on the figure. We got like around 24 inches centimeters. So, and then also if you do know with the previous Titan class figures that you would actually get a little instruction sheet too. Sticker sheet, which you don't actually get with this figure. But even on the instructions, they actually show you that, where you can actually armor up your the bases to, where the Blastbacks ports are. Because if you look at the bottom, you can see like the cannon Blastbacks right there for tank mode. Right there, and then the others right there, so you can see it. You can armor the base tank up right there, and then like the rocket blast effect or the claw arm blast effect. So you can see it does actually show you where to put them if you want to armor your base up with them. Other bases. Now why don't we talk about the final thoughts for this Titan class, Omega Supreme. But yeah, so that's all of the features in the review. And I did pull up a few pictures, and then like John Joker said, maybe a comparison with the Titan class Triptychon from a few years ago, which I can actually bring up. So I'll share it, like when I do this, I usually just share my screen. I don't turn on the audio, but I mute the video if I do. But yeah, I'll share my screen so that way you guys can actually like see the clip of this figure, and then so it loads up. And I'll have to look up the comments on another screen. Hey, Off-Road Adam. How are you doing today, Off-Road Adam? But yeah, I'll even show like a few, scale with Omega Supreme. But obviously it is big, like it's 24 inches in robot mode. The rocket was almost 2 feet tall. Like here they showed off, like that's how he'll scale with the Optimus Prime and the Sage Commander Jetfire. So if you want more scale to see how big he is compared to a Commander class figure, or even in a battle mode, a battle pose with them if it doesn't do the blue. But so you can see there he is with the Magnus, Optimus Prime, a few Autobots. So if you want, you can see how, get a sense of scale, how big he is compared to the fellow Autobots himself. And like all the features that I did show off. Dad, I'm almost done. And then there they are in base mode. There he is in base mode with them. Be careful, Mr. Wolf. Yeah, things do to get expensive. It's like there he is in base mode with the other figures from the Siege/Earthrise line. But yeah, so you can see how big he is. And like with the Predator King, like showed off. But yeah, you can see how big this Titan class is with the other pictures or the other third-party ones from Omega Supreme. But even from the show, you should see how big he is. And here, John Joker, there's your answer to your question. That's how big he is with the Trypticon. So you can at least see how big this Siege Omega Supreme is with Trypticon from Titan's Returns. Shimmering Wolf, it's nice to see so we could decide to purchase it. Thanks, you guys are awesome too. And also in the review, I do show actually like the scenes from this while the character appeared. But so you can at least see how he did look like in the show. But as for the final thoughts, then I just stop sharing the screen. So I can at least talk about the final thoughts for this Titan Omega Supreme. And I just leave the cam off when I usually do this. So as you heard, the joints are tight, strong ratchets everywhere where it needs to be. Okay, now I need to see your show. John Joker, it's on Netflix. Just search up Transformers Siege, and then you'll find all 6 episodes for Siege, and then Earthrise is Season 2, which is already on Netflix, and then Transformers Kingdom is the 3rd part, and Kingdom is the Beast Wars. So, it's all on Netflix. Can't wait to revive in post now. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, John Joker, just look on Netflix and Transformers Siege. So you can see the Siege show, now see Mega Supreme. So yeah, and then obviously the Earthrise show and Kingdom, which will be Beast Wars, and the Titan class for Beast Wars is going to be the Ark. So the Ark will even have its own robot mode. And yes, Kingdom will be the Maximals and Autobots working together. Yeah, can't wait to receive this in post now. Yeah. Mine only took like a few days to arrive. And then Kingdom, so Predacons and the Decepticons versus the Maximals and the Autobots on Earth. But yeah, the whole show is on Netflix. Transformers War for Cybertron Siege, or then Earthrise, which is the sequel. It's only 6 episodes and it's only 24 minutes long. 6 episodes, 24 minutes long on Netflix. But so you can see the figure had tight joints all over the rocket transformation. That impressed me. Okay. Oh, okay. Now I'm getting the idea of the titles on the figures. Thanks for letting me know. Much appreciated. You're welcome, John Joker. But yeah, as you see, these joints are tight. You get those new Blastbacks that are included with this figure. All the detail is phenomenal for the figure. Transformation is different. Like that whole torso was the same, and then the other was the rocket. Not a lot of parts for me like the Autobot one. So here's the Ian Autobot or Decepticon. Salacious. He's an Autobot. In the robot mode, you could see the Autobot symbol and take. He's an Autobot. If he was a Decepticon, then he would have been fighting the Decepticons. He would have been working with the Decepticons, fighting Autobots. He's one of the G1 Autobots. He appeared like in Season 2 of the G1 series. But yeah, he's an Autobot, for sure. But yeah, he's had many incarnations. But this has been the recent Siege one, which is on Netflix, and then Kingdom. And then Earthrise 2. But yeah, he's an Autobot Salacious run. But yeah, it's a massive figure. All the detail, articulation, the joints is really good. Nothing feels loose on that figure. The review. So the only thing is, if you remember, Trypticon did have the ratchet issues for the hips on him when you were transforming him, and then if you moved it too much, it would break. So hopefully Omega doesn't have that issue. And as you heard, the ratchets were tight, strong. You could hold up any amount of clothes you want with the figure. Then how big he is too, which that's how big he was in the show. The only thing was maybe that could have been done differently, was if in the Netflix show, like you saw in that clip, or the box art, it shows his eyes are blue, and the eyes aren't blue on the figure, too. But yeah, and then there is actually a few upgrade kits for this figure. One of them is from Non-F Productions. So the Non-F one, they change out the wraps that you get, and then they make them longer, and then you can't use these wraps anymore. So that would be only if you want to go for a base mode. Larkin Slayer has a review on that. He's another Transformers reviewer here on YouTube. Also, the other upgrade kit is from Shockwave Labs, so it gives them, like, I believe, light up eyes, which the eyes aren't, and then the barrel of the cannon for robot mode, whereas left arm, that one actually, you get an LED, so if you want, you can turn that on to give it like he's about to blast some cons with LEDs. And then if you want, they're a toy axe. They also released a set for this figure. If you don't, toy axe is repo labels. Repo labels are just Transformer stickers to make them pop better. So I might pick that set up, and then if I do, I'll probably do a live video of me installing it, or I'll just do like a live video of just like the after with all the stickers and stuff. But yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers War for Cybertron Siege on Titan class Omega Supreme. Let me know what you guys think of the figure down in the comments down below. If you have this figure, you can find it. If you want to see the figure in show form, watch Transformers War for Cybertron Siege and on Netflix, Transformers Earthrise on Netflix, and Transformers Kingdom on Netflix. But yeah, great figure. You can find the Ultimate Wolf on Discord, the Wolf Club server, the Streamers Unite server, it's Rum server, many other Discord servers, the Ultimate Wolf on Instagram, the Ultimate Wolf on Twitch, the Ultimate Wolf on Facebook, if you can find it, because that's actually my real name on Facebook and Instagram, or the Ultimate Wolf on PlayStation. Yeah, many other gaming streams like me and Salacious are gonna play Predator Hunting Ground sometime tomorrow. So you'll see. I'll probably either stream that on here or Twitch. So we'll see which one. And then you can check out all the people who stopped by too. Like Salacious Run, Off-Road Adam, John Joker, and Roxanne plays KKG. But yeah, I've been the Ultimate Wolf. This has been the Siege Omega Supreme review. And who knows, I'll probably do a few more other gaming streams soon. Especially like with other games coming out, and like Predator Hunting Ground stream with Salacious Run. But yeah, I've been the Ultimate Wolf. And all links where you can find me are in the description down below. Thanks for everyone who stopped by. Comment, like, subscribe. Hit that bell button to be notified whenever I go live again or upload a new video. And share the videos with your friends and families. Help the channel grow.